Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Daily Carry Podcast, episode 55 today. Super excited to continue the conversation with you. Today, we're going to be talking about our plans going into 2026, at the forefront being having a new governor here in Colorado in 2026, Lord willing.
Gosh.
And that governor being none other than Victor Marx, who the Daily Carry officially, fully, 100% endorses and supports. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. We'll talk about him a little bit today, and also looking forward to having him on the show here in the near future, and excited about that. But we're also excited to talk about some things that we've got going on leading into the new year, specifically some challenges that we have taken on in the men's group that we have going here at the gym. And the men's group has agreed, a good handful of them, at least I guess not everybody, but a good handful of them have agreed to do 31-day resilience reset. But we do that, and then we go straight into 75 hard. So that's going to be, a little over 3 months of...
Four, right? 30, 60. Oh, no.
I said a little over
just
3
under.
months.
Yeah, just under.
It's almost 4 months.
Yeah.
Still, that's
a jam.
Yeah, that's a good duration of time there, And I'm excited about it because I do think that there's a lot of men that are excited about it. And I think that the difference is people who set New Year's resolutions and those things by themselves, and they just want to will it into existence. A lot of that, as many people know, they die out, they fizzle out, they don't last. But I'm excited about this because we've got a group of men that are all committing to this together.
Yeah.
And we're going to hold each other to it.
Yeah, it's a big difference between motivation and discipline. So, it's easy to get motivated to go sign up at a gym. I read an article, I think it was 2 New Year's Eve days ago, seasonally. I think it was 23, I read it, that said there was one campaign out there of a fitness company that depends on your $10 enrollment to cover their expenses for the entire year, and they don't care whether or not you come back to the gym because the $10 fee, because you'll get something like 30 million enrollments annually at different gyms across the board. But this one particular one was talking, it's like $8 million in revenue to pay that $10 fee to sign up, and 95% of the people never show up.
Wow.
But they still make that coin.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good marketing strategy. They play off your motivation, but they don't care if you're there. So the fact that we're getting ready to do this and there's accountability is a big deal.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's a long amount of time. I liked your message to the group, 57 years old. What's 4 months?
Yeah.
I like that. That was, I think that put it into perspective for a lot of the guys in the group. He's right. 4 months is a drop in the bucket. This has got the potential. It checks all the boxes for being something that's actually going to bring about positive change and lifelong change, most likely.
Well, tell people why we're doing it, though. Because if you're just tuning in, they're like, oh, okay, so you got a bunch of dudes getting together to do a 4-month workout challenge? No.
It's a lot more than that.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot more than that. So this men's group that we formed, it's, I don't know, like 13 weeks old, something like that.
Yep.
Maybe 14 weeks old. And we just went through our first study together, Stand Firm, Act Like Men. Incredible book, incredible study, amazing testimonies from all the men that have been a part of it, gone through it together. Prayers answered, lives changed, men strengthened, marriages strengthened, all the stuff that you would expect from a men's group that's actually doing the stuff together, not just getting together and just talking about stuff, but actually in between sessions, walking through life together, being there for each other, sharpening each other, locking shields with each other. And that is where this came from. We're in our second study now, No More Excuses by Tony Evans. It's been an awesome book. We just got through week 1. We're in week 2 right now. But through this, it was several weeks ago that Eric, one of the guys, he came in and said, hey, I'm going to do this 31-day resilience challenge. And we were like, well, I guess we could all just do it. And they're like, well, wait a second, when are we going to do it? We're going to do it like right now? He's like, no, I was thinking about it after the holidays. Like, oh, okay, that's perfect. Yeah, let's just say January 1st. And then we can invite all the guys that want to do it to do it. Turned out that a good amount of guys wanted to do it. And then Brian and Andrew were like, oh, we want to do 75 hard. And we're like, okay, well, we're going to do this 31-day resilience reset. And then we can do 75 hard. Or you guys can just do 75 hard if you want, but I think it'd be cool to just see who wants to actually go the extra mile. And we'll do 31 days, then do 75 days. And turned out that the majority of you guys wanted to do that too. So, yeah, here we are, 31 days. And this, by the way, this 31-day resilience reset challenge, this is, I believe it's one of the guys that maybe does the podcast with Joby Martin, the guy who wrote that book, Stand Firm and Act Like Men.
Makes sense.
And he wrote this challenge, I believe, and it's totally structured to do exactly what we're doing as a men's group, to sharpen yourself. I mean, if you just read the foreword in this program, it says by the end of this 31 days, the goal is that you're going to be a sharper man than you've ever been before.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, spiritually, all the things, totally better, just more refined, more sharp as a man. And it's pretty vigorous. It's got, it's got exercise, it's got a diet, it's got protocol, it's got do's and don'ts. But then the 75 hard, rolling right into that 75 hard, what we're going to do with that is obviously still bring into the challenge the spiritual element of, okay, we're not just going to read 10 pages in just any random book, but we're going to make sure that that's evened out with spiritual development just as much as physical and mental development. So that'll be how we kind of hone in on that a little bit later once we finish this 31 days. But regardless, the entire goal, the entire intent, and the reason we're doing this is because we got men that want to be better men. That's powerful.
It is. We've got, I'm doing it for the rest of my life. It's a reset for me. It's not like, oh, let's go work out. Dude, I work out all the time. That is not it. I'll have 6 hockey games next week. Season's kicking back up. I'm grabbing an extra tourney coming up, so I'm prepping for that. But this is like, for me personally, it's a calling. It is. This isn't just let's go do this and be a bunch of guys and hold each other to account. That's great. That's cool. It's needed. But it's because the world's falling apart, man. I mean, I'm using this as an outward driver for me in every facet of life. So if I'm good at my core and I'm strong and I feel good, I think everything else is it's gonna come that much easier. And I put a video out on this a couple of days ago. What are you more afraid of, the fear of failure or the fear of success? And I think a lot of people say, oh, fear of failure. And I disagree. I genuinely believe people are afraid of success. It's not because they don't want to get there. It's not because they don't want to aspire to have it. I just think a lot of people don't know how to get there, and then they don't know what to do when they get it. And failure is easy. Failure, man, is all you got to do is sit there and do nothing. And you can just sit in your comfort zone for the rest of your life. And I just choose not to. And maybe that's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. Do what works for you. I would never look down on that. But I feel led right now. I feel called and I feel led. Having the right guy coming in, running for governor in a state. I mean, there's a vein that goes off of this thing for me. Jana and I were done in 26. If the midterms lost, the chance of us staying is pretty slim. And the reason for that is not because we don't have friends here, don't have business, don't have all of this. I think some of it I can do remote. What I can't do is I can't stand with the garbage that's going on around, knowing that is going to be a continual deal, and we're never going to be able to overcome that. We are in trying times right now. And so for me, this is very much a big time challenge. There's a very hard push for the midterms. And it's not just wanting to see a change in the governorship, is we have to have it in this state right now. Colorado, we've lost more in Colorado. I was reading something the other day. Colorado has changed more in the last 5 years than it has since Colorado became Colorado. In the last 5 years, with infrastructure development, things falling apart, laws being changed that have impacted, derailment and it went on and on and on. And they weren't just looking for negative to just talk about it. It was just actually what has happened. And it was a fascinating read because it was saying that this used to be the one true getaway that you could come to live life, to explore, to have amazing business. I mean, Colorado really kind of has it all. And the politics have all but destroyed the amazement of Colorado. Not the beauty of Colorado, not the backcountry, not all the things that you can go do. But the day-to-day, it is almost impossible to live here. It's financially overwhelming. It's on its way to
destroying all that too, though.
It is, and they're trying hard right now. And so every stupid law that is passed in the goodness of something, I'll do my air quotes, or for the goodness of something. I hate to, I don't like being negative about this stuff, but there's so much truth in it. Is almost anytime I hear a liberal ideology person open their mouth, that's when I know the lie is coming out. And it goes the polar opposite of the thing that they say they're intending to do. And so for me, this is kind of my long-winded, I'll get off my soapbox, but it is a change for me internally. It is a change externally. It's a change to protect those that can't protect themselves. And it is the ability of challenge that I don't think I've ever paced myself at this pace before. And at 57, I feel a little tired. And at the same time, I feel so unbelievably rejuvenated and inspired and motivated. So that motivation is going to turn to discipline. Discipline is going to turn to action, and action is going to turn to results. For me, I can't speak for anybody else.
You can't speak for me?
I mean, I hope I said what you would want to hear, but, you know.
Yeah, no. That's definitely what I would echo myself. With my intent of doing this challenge for a long time, I've needed a little kick in the right direction as far as just my diet goes. So that's going to be a good thing overall. It's a little tough when your wife owns a coffee shop, you know.
I've got one more day to enjoy this. So
Exactly.
I might have 2 today.
Yeah, but I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about kicking the new year off with, more importantly than the challenge and all that stuff, more importantly than all that, I'm excited to kick the new year off with Brotherhood in a way that I've never known it.
Amen.
That is...
I missed that part, by the way. I should have said that.
Well, that's okay.
It was implied.
I'm saying, I'll say it for both of us. I'll speak for you too, I guess.
Thank you.
But Brotherhood, in a way that I've never experienced it in my life, not that I haven't had good people surrounding me, not that I haven't had a good upbringing, not that I haven't had other brothers of the faith around me, but never in my life have I had this kind of an intentional community that I'm surrounded with in this Mighty Men of Monday that we've got going every Monday morning at 5:45 a.m. The majority of these guys, I don't just see them on Monday morning. Majority of these guys, I see them throughout the week. And even if I don't see them, I'm messaging them.
Sure.
We're keeping connected. We're keeping each other accountable. We're keeping each other encouraged. We're praying for each other. We're bearing one another's burdens. That brotherhood is something that I am very thankful for, and it's something that I didn't realize. Because, I mean, being raised the way that I was raised, I guess it's just something that I didn't realize I was missing at the level that we have it right now. And I'm excited because I know it's just getting started. This is going to be our first year from beginning to end to have this kind of community of brothers getting together intentionally to be the men that God wants them to be. I think that 2026, I think that just that alone is setting 2026 up to be a year that just absolutely blows all of our minds.
Yeah. So much that comes from that. This could be a really, really fun, long podcast for no other reason than what you just said. I'll echo. This is something I do by design and have always done. So I've got my circle. I've talked about this. My world is like a bullseye. God, family, center, and then there's essentially 3 dudes on the next ring out that have the keys to the kingdom for me and my family. So if I'm dead and gone today, I get crushed in a car crash going home. They know what to do. They know how to take care of my family. That's that circle. I give them just 100% trust in the financial security of my bride and my kids. And then the next ring out is the guys I've been through the door with. Those are the guys that if we haven't blown through doors or we haven't done it together in that realm, taking down evil, then you don't fit into that circle. And then the next one out are the people like you, the people that and I don't like these are not necessarily in going out in descending order of importance. It's order of life. So God and family will always be my central focus internally. The protection of that outer layer of that, those guys are not guys I hang with all the time. They're not people that I go do stuff like when I would do with you. The guys that bang doors that's just a brotherhood. That ring is just guys that I relate to because we've done it. That next ring out is actually one of the more important of all of the things that I do in life, because those are the people that you break bread with, you break down with, you hold each other to account, you love each other through, you walk that journey, you stand in the face of bad, you train together, you hockey together, you just get like, that's that world. And then the next ring out is acquaintanceships, people that I value and admire and I like the friendship with and I can have coffee with and we know each other and we might have a relationship at church, but we're not doing life together. We're doing outside life together. And I've always done that. What's different about this is I'm bringing a new ring into it where it's a culmination of everything and an overlap of everything I just mentioned. So I'm adding something to it for the first time. So guys that might jits but have never kicked doors are going to be lined up with guys that kick doors that are also going to be lined up with guys that will take care of my outside world if something was to go sideways. And I'm bringing all that together.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited for right now is that overlap and seeing good men in every avenue, but totally different walks of life come together.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so amazing that it's been a couple of weeks. It's 5:45 a.m. on a Monday. On average, I mean, the first one we did, we had like 10 guys, I think.
Right.
We took a picture. We had 10 guys. And slowly but surely it's grown. I mean, in the group chat, we got like, I think maybe 40 or more guys in there. And we haven't had that many show up yet, but we did have the most that ever showed up, almost 30 guys on that Christmas breakfast.
Yep.
Which a bunch of guys weren't even able to make. A bunch of guys that would have been there were out of town or other obligations. But we did a wild game breakfast, Christmas breakfast, did a gift exchange for the guys. That was awesome. But we just started this new book, and we've got a pretty solid, consistent, at least 20-something guys that show up every Monday morning, 5:45 a.m. And it's an open group. It's not like it's closed. It's not like it's exclusive. It's going to continue to grow as men realize that this is something that they can plug into and this is something that they can actually benefit from, that it's going to sharpen them and that it's actually a community of guys who care. We're not just showing up at 5:45 a.m. on Monday mornings just to have a good chat,
right.
But it's about life change. Like if people would not be there if they did not want to be there. Yeah. 5:45 a.m. on a Monday. That's tough. That's tough for anybody.
Sure.
For anybody to say, okay, every Monday morning I'm going to be there at a jiu-jitsu gym and I'm going to read the Bible and I'm going to build Brotherhood and I'm going to get sharpened and I'm going to do my part to sharpen others at 5:45 a.m. on a Monday every week. That's a big commitment. And the results have already spoken for themselves. Some of these guys that have shared their testimony at the very beginning of the Stand Firm and Act Like Men book, we made it intentional. Everybody's got to write down, what kind of man do you want to be? What you may or may not want to share it at the end of the study, but if you do, then you can. But write down, no matter what, even if it's just private, it just stays between you and God, it's fine. But write down the kind of man that you want to be and the kind of man that you think you can be after this study is finished. The testimonies, man, and it's not mine to share, but I can absolutely give glory to God for prayers answered. In the group, there was guys who shared, man, I started praying for these things with the brothers, started reaching out and asking what I could pray for them with and asked them if they would pray with me. And these things started happening. Provision came into my life. God started showing up and opening doors. It's amazing that those testimonies have come out of this men's group that is really still in its inception. It is just getting started. It's not even in any way, shape, or form at its maturity. Right now, we're still young. We're still growing. But what we are is we're a group of men who are getting together intentionally and seeking God and seeking to become the men God wants us to be. And I know that formula alone has the attention of heaven. It has the attention of God. And God has shown up, and he's been so good to already show fruit in this group of men, that there's been prayers answered, there's been lives changed, there's been people led closer to a relationship and a walk with Jesus Christ, which is what it's all about.
Yeah. So you can share or not share yours. Mine was, if I had to put it down to a one-word answer of what kind of man do I want to be going forth, it's intentional. Because intentional to me goes across all facets of everything that I want to accomplish. And if I'm not intentional about them, They won't get done. Motivation is easy. Discipline is hard. And that's why I said earlier, I think people are more afraid of success than they are fear. That's not to delegitimize fear. It's not to take away from struggles that are real for people. But you read something Monday, and I think this is important for people to hear. Man, there's an old adage. I mean, I don't know if you're a race car guy, but in NASCAR, the most dangerous place to be is in first place with 2 laps to go.
What an insult. You don't know if I'm a race car guy?
I know you're a race car guy. Just wanted to hear you say,
What an insult.
You are...
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I've ever been insulted on this podcast.
You have once.
That was rough.
Jared is...
Mike, I don't know if you're a race car guy, but...
Jared is a... he's a horsepower-crazed lunatic. When we were out on the trail and we're chasing each other around with ATVs, I don't think we could have launched higher or faster without seeing what was coming over the hills, without helmets on.
That was a little dumb.
It was a little dumb, and yet I look back at it as a fond memory because I've done that at 100 times in my life with people. Now, Jared is a through and through musclehead. When it comes to cars, man.
You didn't need to correct it, okay?
It's okay. I love it. It's a lot like our Merry Christmas video that we put out. So funny. Just say Merry Christmas, Jared, to them. Just say it. The hardest place to be in NASCAR is in first place with 2 laps to go. Why? Because every NASCAR driver will tell you they're driving in the rearview mirror the whole time, especially when you see them charging up behind you. And when they've caught drafts and you got 2 or 3 cars running together, they're going to run down the guy who's number 1. And there's a chance for any one of second, third, or fourth place to become first place in the last quarter mile of the race. If the guy drives not looking in the rearview mirror and he keeps his focus on the finish line, chances are he's going to win that race. But if you're trying to drive defensively because you see it coming from behind you, you're going to watch it go right past you more often than not. And that to me is what this race is about right now. It's not, and I don't look. I'm not saying. So if it's a 500-mile race, you're going to look in the rearview mirror a lot. You're going to be checking the mirror a lot because you're picking a lane. And if you're running 3 or 4 wide at 190 miles an hour on a high-banked oval, you're going to be looking in the mirror. But once you see that finish line coming, if you just keep looking backwards, it's kind of like those. It's like those races. You ever seen them when they're running like the 800 and the guy's got like literally like a 150-foot lead over the second place person, and all of a sudden you just see that second place person start closing the gap, and the first place person looks back over their shoulder, and you know what's going to happen. You know it's going to come down to the last 3-4 feet, and that second place person's going to overtake them, and they do it every time. There's something in the psychology in the brain where you start slowing down even though you think you're speeding up. It's like, I got to go faster, but you're not. It's like your sympathetic, parasympathetic is fighting against itself. It's crazy. So when I look at this challenge that we're getting ready to step into, sure, there's a physical element of it. It's going to be tough. That's why I'm drinking the coffee today with the sugar in it, because over the next 31 days, I don't get to have that. That'll be a challenge, but so what? What I'm more excited about is the finish line. I'm more excited for 4 months from now than I am the start of it, because I want to get to that point where I'm going to achieve something that, and honestly, I've never done this before. I mean, I've done many workouts before, but I've never done this. So that'll be new in and of itself, but I get to do it with dudes who are willing to walk alongside. And some are going to more than likely fall off. Some will fall off. It's our job to pick them up and carry them to the best of our ability. Pull them out of the foxhole, you bet.
Slap them a little bit.
Hit them with a fish, man, right in the face. Just hard as you can. Big fish. But if 1 or 2 of them multiple go, yeah, man, I'm just not going to do it. I can't do it. It's not my responsibility to pick them up over and over and over and do it for them. I can pull them along. I can push them. I can do a lot of things. What I can't do is do it for them. And that's the internal for me that I'm excited about, is because I'm doing this for me, but I'm walking alongside everybody else to help keep them on course and have them help keep me on course. But the end result, the personal end result, I go back to that bullseye. This is forgotten family. everybody else benefits from it. I benefit from everybody else, but this is my focus of why I'm doing it.
The finish line.
The finish line.
I love it. That's awesome. That's a very good perspective to have on that. Let me just share. You shared. I'll read mine because mine was not so easy. But I'm going to share this because before I share this, I want everyone listening to contemplate 20-something men all together writing something like this. And imagine how powerful that can be in its scope of being able to affect positive change in the world. Because I truly do think this is powerful. And I think that when we state it and we let people know this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, it shows. It shows why we're doing it. It shows the importance of what we're doing. Us getting together on Monday morning at 5:45 a.m. is not just a book club. This is not just getting together without aim, without purpose, without meaning. This is the most important thing that I've ever been a part of in my entire life. 100%. Without a single shadow of a doubt. This is it. This is the most important thing. I mean, of course, we've got everything that's going on alongside of that, but this has affected an entire culture shift in the gym and in everybody's life that I'm aware of in a very positive, in a very godly, in a very Christ-centered way. It's affected change. And it's because we've got men that have all come together and written down the kind of men that they want to be. So this was mine, and I'm not going to speak for all the other men because they wrote down their own version, but this is what I said. I said, I want to be the man that God, hold on, let me start over. The kind of man I want to be. I want to be a man of God who bows before the King, stands firm in faith and conviction, and uses all his might to sacrificially love, protect, and lead his family and brothers by following Jesus. A man who chooses a cross over comfort and chooses that every day without compromise. So that's just what I wrote down. I'm one of many. I'm one of many. And I'm nobody. In the grand scheme of things, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just somebody who said, you know what, God, if you want to use me, here I am. Send me. That's it. And we had 20-something men that all were intentional in writing down the kind of man that they want to be. Not write down, man, I want to be a hero. I want to be big bad. I want to be, whatever the world would say is a manly man. Mm-hmm. No. This is the kind of man I want to be. The kind of man that stands on faith. The kind of man that has humility, that wants to serve the world like Jesus did. We had 20-something men write down the kind of man that they wanted to be, rooted in Scripture and rooted in the context of going through a book together that's founded on the Holy Bible, founded on the words of life, founded on God's plan for man, for manhood. We got men that are being shaped, informed, forged into the men that God wants us to be. I'm one of them. I'm no exclusion. I'm thankful to be a part of it, man. I'm so excited because I know this is changing lives. And I know it's only just beginning. So excited to see exactly wherever it is God wants us to go because I know we're heading there. I know that we are. Without a doubt, this is what God wants out of the gym. This is what God wants out of the men that are a part of this right now. We're all walking this path that is that straight and narrow path toward life. And I believe that we're going to lead others there with us, Lord willing.
Amen. I think there's a byproduct that comes with this that's super cool too, especially for those that are in the group that are married, have littles at home, have a business alliance, partners, peers, your constituency even. I think everybody benefits from it. I think everybody benefits from it. And it starts at home with your wife. You ever have a rough day, come home, you're disconnected, not communicating the way you should, fill in the blank. I think when she sees the stronger man, the better man, you're going to protect her better. You're going to love her deeper. You're going to find commons between the two of you that are maybe have been surfacey, but you're going to find depths in them. There's just so many good things that come from doing something like this that the byproduct then goes to your wife, and then ultimately that turns back around and comes back to you from her, because then if there's walls that are up, they become lower or get knocked down. If there's lack of intimacy, you become more connected. If there's lack of communication, you become more open. I think it opens up far more than a bunch of guys just holding each other to account, which is huge, and far more than just reading, or far more than just a diet and a workout. It's how it changes you, who you are as a man, and how you give to others, and then how they receive that and how they give back to you. That, to me, is what's missing in society right now. And that's why I said this is so much bigger than just what's happening here, as big as this is. For me personally, it goes in so many directions. I was watching, I've become a fan of Tom DeBlas. Like, his stuff that he puts out. He's authentic. He's unapologetic. He's unafraid. I mean, he's going to say what he thinks, but he does it in a way that is a call to action in many cases. It's a challenge in many cases. And then he put a post out the other day on something that he was doing. It was very interesting. And it didn't go into detail, but essentially he was saying, over the next period of time, here's where I'm headed. Watch and see the results. And I'm already looking at the dude now going, dude, like, what are you missing? And yet he feels kind of the same call we feel right now. Like, he's heading in a direction that is going to take him to a much higher level. And his faith journey, if I go back, and I've done this, I've dug into some of his old posts to where he's at now. Oh my gosh, it's like a transformed man. I think listening to Victor and some of the videos that he's putting out, and the reason we're supporting him, and we said this in a previous podcast. I mean, you and I followed him for a long, long time. I mean, half of what I train in gun takeaways, I learned from watching Victor and then just adapting my own style for what worked for me. So I followed him from that standpoint for a long time. I didn't know the depths of the stuff that he stood in the face of until recent. And getting to know him, getting to meet him, bucket list check mark of getting a gun taken away, all of that's cool and fine. But when I listen to his videos of what he's putting out right now, man, if you're standing and not moved or compelled after watching these things, in my opinion, something is wrong. You've either succumbed or you are just too much a part of what's happening out here to not realize just how important the things is that not only is he saying, but the actions that are about to be taken. And we are literally stepping into, in my opinion, it's going to be a knockdown drag out. This is not going to be a simple fight. And if you don't have somebody at the helm that's willing to stand up like he's willing to stand up and be the person that he is, invoking the things that he's invoking and bringing forth the fight in the way that he is, very measured right now. The term dangerous gentleman that he uses is good, but he's a measured man. He is very measured. And that is what I'm looking forward to seeing, how this thing all plays out. I think victory is there, or I wouldn't be so actually very devoted into it right now. I want to see my state turn around. I want to see laws come off the books, this garbage that is sitting out there right now. I want to see changes in protection for the safety of kids in our school. I go a whole laundry list for it. And I genuinely believe you need somebody who understands it, and I think he understands it. So I mentioned Tom for a reason. I mentioned Victor for a reason. We've mentioned all the guys here. How do you see it all coming together for 26?
Well, Tom recently reposted one of our videos, one of Pit Boss's videos, and he made the announcement that he's planning on coming out here for the next event.
Nice.
Hopefully the next one, if not the next one, the one in 2026. He's going to be here to commentate. He'll do a seminar, all that. It'd be cool to have him on the podcast. And, of course, I'm sure that Victor will hopefully be sometime early 2026. We'll have him on the podcast. So having both of them on the podcast will be awesome. I mean, potentially having both of them at one of our next events together and then both be able to collaborate with each other, I think is awesome. I know that they share a lot of things in common as well.
Yep.
And as far as 2026 goes, all that stuff is well and good. I truly believe that Colorado, we have a chance. We have an opportunity to win. We have an opportunity to get the state on a corrected path. We have the opportunity. And I believe that we can win, but it's going to take everything we've got. And anybody that is out there thinking there's no chance, well, that's going to be true if you keep on thinking that way. But also the people that are out there thinking, well, we may win, we'll see how it plays out. You're no better than the people that are just saying there's no hope.
Yeah, get off the fence, man. Get off the fence. That drives me crazy.
You got to understand that we can win. But all of us all together, we're going to have to pull out all the stops. We're going to have to get out, tell our friends and family to get out. We're going to have to go vote. We're also going to have to get involved ahead of the voting. We're going to have to be telling people, hey, you understand where we're at right now as a state, right? You understand these laws that are in effect, but do you understand that we have a chance right now to get ourselves on the right track? We need to do this. We need to get out on the streets and be telling anybody and everybody that we know, hey, this is our chance. This is how we fight for Colorado. This is how we fight for our future. And if we don't do it now, we may never get a chance to. This is the most important year in, I believe, all of Colorado's history.
Absolutely it is.
That is what I am sold out and convinced of. And I think that it's so important that everybody who loves Colorado, I'm one of them. I'm Colorado born and raised. I cannot imagine myself living anywhere other than Colorado. I love Colorado. And as much as I love it, if we continue down this path, it's going to be almost impossible for somebody to operate businesses here. It's going to be almost impossible for someone to live here and own commercial real estate, let alone, businesses in commercial real estate and all that we've got going on. It's already very hard. It's already very expensive. It's already one of the hardest states to do business in. And it's on the path to becoming worse and worse, not better, unless 2026, we all bind together, we win this fight. Then we can make Colorado great. We can make Colorado get on the right path, and we can send ourselves in the right direction. It's the most important year that we've ever faced as a state is 2026. And I'm excited. I'm not fearful. I'm not anxious about it. I'm just motivated. I'm motivated, and I do believe that if we fight, we're going to win. If we just get in the fight, we do what we can do. We do our part. Big or small, doesn't matter, but just still do your part. I think if we all do that, we can win.
Why do you think so many people don't?
Well, I think that that's just because of how it's almost how the entire country has kind of had that mentality of how are we gonna take this back? How are we gonna get this back? How are we going to undo the harm and the change that's been done? How are we gonna beat the mass population from these big cities that are pretty much just indoctrinating people with woke ideas? That's how a lot of people feel in Colorado. I've had conversations with people, and they're like, man, I don't know how we can ever win. We're going to win on all the other towns and cities, but not Denver, not Boulder. We don't stand a chance against Denver, against Boulder. It's like, well, yes, we do. Not everybody in Denver and Boulder is going to vote blue. Now, the majority of them, sure. But if we just got more people to vote, if we just got enough people inspired and motivated to actually use their vote, we can win this thing. But there's also a lot of people that are just so discouraged because they've seen how much Colorado continues to grow. And over the past 4 years especially, man, it's after COVID, everybody's moving. There's different people moving to different states, a lot of people leaving California. People have seen it. We have had a massive influx of people from California move to Colorado. And a lot of people from California have moved not only just into Colorado, but into Colorado and into some of the more conservative areas of Colorado. Here in Castle Rock, where we're sitting right now, there has been, I don't know the exact number, but I can tell you that pretty much both of the houses that I've lived in for the past 4 years, majority of my neighbors are transplants from California, majority of them. So there's a lot of people moving from more liberal states into Colorado. And so that's been my conversation with a lot of other people too. It's like, well, there's not a bunch of, God-fearing, gun-loving Republicans moving to Colorado. It's pretty much the opposite. And I can see that, but at the same time, I also know that people left California for a reason. And I think that there's a good chance that they don't want to see Colorado become worse than the reason that they left California. But at the same time, now we're already worse, right? I mean,
I don't know. I feel like they bring it with them. I do.
I think that there's a degree of it. They definitely do. But I also know that not everybody that moves from California, not everybody that lives in California has woke ideology and is going to vote blue. I know that there's red voting people in California. There's red voting people in California that move to Colorado. So they're not all blue voters. So there's still a chance. And even so, even if they came from California to Colorado and they have been Democratic voters of that party, there's still a chance they convert. There's still a chance that, let's see, yeah, you know what, I don't really agree with the direction that the country's heading in, that the state is heading in right now. I could see Victor Marx being able to affect positive change. I mean, look at the guy. Look at what he stands for. Look at what he's done. Look at the work that he's done, saving women and children, getting them out of the grips of terrorists, getting them out of indoctrination camps, and getting them out of sex trades, getting them out of there, saving them. How can you say that that kind of a man who wants to step up and be a governor in Colorado is not the choice? So you know why I think he's the choice is because of exactly what you said a minute ago. At the end of the day, I love my Second Amendment rights, but they are so far in another world than just the policies that right now are putting the kids in Colorado at risk. That is absolutely atrocious. Now, do they go hand in hand? Nobody hear me wrong here. I do think that we need to be armed. An armed society is a polite society. But regardless, when we just have written into law the laws that we have right now about children being able to identify themselves as whatever they want in school, and they don't have to notify the parents, and if the parents find out about it later and the parents want to try to correct the behavior, the parents can literally be criminally charged for just trying to parent their kid in the right direction. That is horrible. We've got so many laws in Colorado right now that are putting children in a very, not only vulnerable state, it's very clear that it's malicious, and it's very clear that our children are being abused by the system in Colorado. And if it continues this way, I don't know how anybody's going to be comfortable having their kids in the public school system here in Colorado at all. And what are people going to do? People need to work. We don't have an economy where most people can just have one person in the household working. So that leaves to where there is no option, but both of the parents are working. They have to put the kid in school. They can't afford private school. But the whole reason I even went on that is because Victor saves women and children. That's what he's made his life's mission. That's been his calling. And I think that that's why he's running for governor in Colorado, because that remains his calling. He sees the risks that are involved right now in policy that are putting children in a vulnerable place. And I believe that he wants to step in and protect the children. I know that's what he wants to do.
I wouldn't disagree that that's probably the main focal point of why he's running. I mean, I've not heard him say that, but I think intuitively you're discerning. I could agree with that. And good. Like, if that's your whole platform, I would run on that. I have no problem with that. There's other things to be fixed, but let's start with the most important. But the flip side of the most important is there's people that are voting these things into law that clearly don't consider it important at all. And that's why it's a law right now. I mean, there's a reason that House Bill 1312 passed. There's a reason for that. There's the reason 1325 passed. There's a reason. And that reason is we have disconnected from, on God's plan, who were created in to be, all of that. But then you got the naysayers who are like, well, I don't believe in God, so therefore that doesn't matter. Okay, well, then fine. Let's take God out of it. I'll go to your side of the aisle for a second, and I'll listen. So why is it okay for a child to be able to make a decision to cut apart their body, something that can impact and carry with them for forever, the psychological effects of it? What's the advantage in that? Why? Is it just because it's my body, my choice? Like, I've yet to hear an argument that makes any sense to me as to why somebody would vote something that stupid into law. And when you talk to these people, like, oh, no, well, not my kid, but a kid should have the right to. Well, but why? Like, what is the gain? And I think for me, and I think for so many other people, you look at that, and it's easy for me to go to, and, you know, this is the negative side of things, but it's so easy for me to go, we live in a society where we are so unbelievably disconnected that people believe that it's okay for a child to mutilate themselves and the parent to not be able to speak into it, but the school to have the right to not share the information, and then the government to be able to punish the parent. You start wrapping your head around that, make that make sense. You can't. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You can't make that make sense. Yet I sat down and I read comments in a thread the other day where somebody put out that said, well, if you've done Botox or you've done hair transplants or you've had surgery to change a jawline, this and that, or you've done gender affirming care. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There is an absolutely incredible difference between a growing adult going down, going, oh, I'm losing my hair, I'm going to take Rogaine, in a child chopping off their body parts underage, protected by the state, and the parents can't speak into it. It's like people have lost their minds, and they put statements out like that, and you go, and then you read the thread, and people are arguing for what the person said. Oh yeah, that's right. I injected Botox into my cheek because I wanted a higher cheekbone the other day, so therefore I'm for gender affirming care for kids. It's insane. And that, we could do show after show after show on this stuff because it just infuriates me to no end when I sit back and I look at it and I think, you have no idea what that child is about to go through. And why? To make you feel good? Like, what is this all for? So am I grateful that we have the Victor Marx of the world that stand in the face of evil? Yep. Am I grateful that we have the Micah Richardsons in the world that went and arrested these guys and put them down? Yep. The problem is now you got laws being passed by people that punish the family, the parent. It starts in the home, man. It starts in the home. You got to protect your kids. You got to get out. You got to vote. Like, all of this stuff matters so huge. And yet at the same time, look at the voter turnout. And you go, because people have, it's sadly, they've given up. So we have to inspire. We have to motivate. We have to get people disciplined. And we have to change a mindset. And that is what, in my opinion, that's what Victor is doing. That's what he's calling to action right now. And that's why he's saying you need dangerous gentlemen to step into the fray. Because it's not going to be the weak mind. It's not going to be the spineless. It's not going to be the feckless. It's not going to be the people up in the governor's mansion right now, clearly. But look at the damage they've done. I mean, they've made monumental strides in the wrong direction. So it's going to take a war to turn this thing around to make monumental strides in the right direction.
Yeah. Honestly, what I think about where we're at right now with the kids is you just now said it whenever you started talking earlier. You said, what is this coming from? My body, my choice. You think that the kids should be able to say that? Well, that's piggybacking off of the exact same thing that they have said for abortion. My body, my choice. Of course. That's where it's all started. That's where it's continuing to grow from. That was the boundary probe that was set and succeeded and has continued to just degrade and torment and really, truthfully, kill society. Has been all of the laws, all of the push for pro-abortion, pro-killing babies. Well, if you don't even have the moral line to be able to say, yeah, it's wrong to kill babies, of course you're not going to have the moral line to say, oh, no, it's not. No, kids shouldn't have a choice until they're 18. Kids should have a good upbringing and they know what's right and what's wrong. They know truth from false. But instead, if we're willing to kill babies, what's the difference? Their body, their choice. That was their mom's body, their mom's choice. It's their body, it's their choice now. That is absolutely atrocious. That is an abomination. And abortion is wrong. If you've had an abortion, there's forgiveness for you. But abortion is wrong. I really like this program that's out there. I forget exactly what they're called, but they let mothers who are contemplating abortions go get an ultrasound, see their baby. And there's like stats and success rates and all that if the mother just sees the baby, sees the heartbeat, then they change their mind. They don't want to get an abortion. And it makes so much sense that would be the case, because here they have society shoving down their throat. It's your body. You don't want it. You don't want it. Then the world doesn't want it. Just throw it away. That's what the world's telling them. But whenever they go and sit in that room and they see that baby and they know that that's a baby growing inside them, they see the heartbeat, they hear the heartbeat, that maternal instinct has no choice but to kick in. Now it's not what the world's saying. It's what God's saying, because it's what God put in every single mother. That maternal instinct of, wow, that's my baby. It is so absolutely horrendous what this country and what the state has become, just so willing to throw babies away, to kill babies. It's disgusting. It's absolutely horrible. It's putrid. And this is how contradictory our country is. They say that a fetus it's not a baby. Fetus is not life. Even whenever it's a fetus and it's growing in the womb, a lot of people are arguing that it's not a baby until it takes its first breath. But you want to know how absolutely contradictory this country is? If you go and you find an eagle nest and you break one egg, If you break an eagle egg,
Yeah.
$100,000 fine
Mm-hmm.
and up to a year in prison
Yeah.
because you just killed an eagle. Imagine that. They're saying, yeah, we can kill babies. Oh, if you kill an eagle baby, they say that's what it is. It's an eagle baby. If you kill an eagle baby, if you break an eagle's egg, $100,000, a year in prison. So they clearly understand that life that's in that egg is worth protecting. They even put a price tag on it, and they put a sentence on it. But yet they won't even do that for human life.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
It's horrific. The rapper Tom McDonald, in his song,
Yeah.
Why Are You All So Stupid? He's like, bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth. Weird. It's such a great line because it's so true and it's so sad. And I mean, if you've ever even watched a Clorox commercial, it's like it kills 90.9% of all germs. Well, 0.01 germ grows. It's life. I mean, it spreads. We could sit here and do this all day long, but yet we've dumbed ourselves down to the point of acceptance. And that was my argument. That's why I went on that little 3-4 minute just rant, because it just drives me crazy when I see, especially when I was reading the comments in the thread. And look, I don't get stuck in this stuff. This is not me walking around living in it all day long. And, you know, I'm a Debbie Downer and I'm a squeaky wheel and I can't get past it. Man, I go live life. I enjoy my days, whatnot. But when I sit down, take a few minutes to dive into a topic, one, I'm trying to educate myself. I want to understand. I just watched Tim Walz, the nitwit governor of Minnesota, who probably is going to be in the crosshairs of about 15 different groups here over the next 6 months, if he makes it that long. All that stuff who's that kid that just unveiled all that stuff, the Somalian daycare stuff? Did you watch that? Holy cow, dude. This thing is like gone worldwide viral. It's like some 22, 23-year-old dude took a video camera and one other guy and started going into all these Somali daycares in Minnesota and finding out there's no kids. There's none. And they're all being funded, like millions upon millions of money is being funneled through these daycares, which of course, there's no doubt it's getting a kickback to Walls, but this guy's just such a tool. But you watch this stuff that is going on, and I mention that because I think what is happening, and this is just me, I'm going to take a stab at this, and if I'm wrong, whatever, I think time will tell. I think what people are tired of right now, and I have a hard time defending Trump in this, because there's a piece of it that actually really bothers me. You and I have talked about this multiple times on episodes. Epstein list, softball pitch. You're going to come out, you're going to say it, you're going to say it at your acceptance speech. That should have been out in a week. We are a year plus past that, and nothing. Pieces and parts. Redacted this, redacted that. People want to see the file. They want to see the uncovered truth. Number one. Number two. Number three. You just start going down the list of things that were said. Right now, how many people have been prosecuted out of the names that he said of people that were going to be prosecuted? The answer is zero. Nada. Now, ICE confronting the people coming over the border, shut down the border, awesome, great. Absolutely needs to be done, needs to be maintained, probably should be putting man or outposts out there, monitoring it, build them up, give guys jobs. I got no problem with any of that stuff, never will. It's our country. I mean, I can't just go to Juarez and go, oh, I'm here, I'm going to go do what I want to do, and I'm going to carry my flag and wave it in your face and then tell you this, that, and the other, or be from Somalia and come over, or Iran and Dearborn, Michigan, et cetera. I mean, we're watching our country fall apart. And I keep using the word feckless because I love it. You have these inept, woeful, spineless people in positions, not leaders, just people in positions that have garnered attention, gotten the vote, got into office, and they are single-handedly, in their own way, destroying what arguably is the greatest nation on the planet, that is also the most benevolent nation on the planet. And we're just tearing apart ourselves from within, and everybody's just waiting from the outside to come in and pounce on us. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would just sit back. I mean, you read The Art of War, sure. Sit there and watch your enemy tear itself apart, and then just walk in and then you own it. That's where we're headed. And all the bubbas from Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas aren't going to do a doggone thing with 80 million weapons, except just go to war in the streets. We've got to have a different battle plan. And hope is not a battle plan. Hope is the thing you have after the battle plan fails. And right now, in this great state of Colorado, in the horrifically run state of Minnesota, we have the exact same problem. We have somebody in a governor's chair who's signing laws, and Walz just signed, by the way, right up to delivery abortion. I think it was 3 days ago. And when he did it, he signs it and he takes the pen, he slams it down. He's like, it's done. Like, you have a special place in hell waiting for you for the rest of eternity. But your cockiness and your arrogance sitting here right now, it's just that I think people are tired is the point. That's the point of everything I'm saying is they're tired. They want to see Trump follow through from the president's level of the statements that he said he was going to do, and they want to know when is it going to happen. Certain things are going to take time. Absolutely. There's things that would take the entire run of his presidency, all 4 years to get done. That's not my issue. My issue is when you come out and you say, we're going to do this, and this, and they're easy and you're not doing them, you're losing your vote. You're killing the people that are going to run for the midterms. You're losing, and people are just going to go, you know what? I did vote and look what it got. And we voted before and look what it got. And there's all these questions of fraud and voter fraud, and Biden got more votes than anybody in history. No, he didn't. People are getting to a point where they just don't trust any of it anymore. And so that's why they don't show up at the polls. Like this whole portion of this rant is get off your butt and go out. And they're like, I did get off my butt and go out. I did exactly what they asked me to do, and look what I got in return. And it makes it 10 times harder for a guy like Victor Marx, who's authentic, who's going to do the very thing that politicians don't do. And he's going to do it in a way that politicians would never do it. And he's got an uphill battle because he's not a politician, yet I absolutely love the fact that he's not. When I look at the big picture, it's going to become twice as hard when Trump doesn't follow through and doesn't do stuff. Not because I'm hearing Victor Marx say, I need Trump, or vice versa. It just genuinely just makes it harder. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, it's not that, look, I want to get in people's face and I want to say, get out, get off the couch, stand up and be a man, grow a backbone. Sound harsh? I don't know. I think we're getting to a point where we're going to have to start fighting over this stuff because people just don't show. But at the end of the day, they're all complaining about the thing not happening. Douglas County School Board, we've said it over and over and over. You wait till 26 and see what happens here in Douglas County. Watch what happens. And Douglas County residents should be ashamed. They let it happen. All they had to do was get up off the couch and go vote. And shoot, you could have done that from your house. You got mail-in ballots. We had I think it was like 1/5 of the county voted. And this is the result. This is what you get. We do this in the midterms, we're done. It doesn't matter who is at the helm and how strong they are, what kind of leader they are, if people don't go out and vote. We got to change mindset. We got to change attitude. We got to get rid of the, it's not going to work, so why should I do it? But at the same time, I do understand where people are coming from when they say that, because they've been jaded. They're tainted. They feel lied to. And the hope that I have in a Victor Marx is he's a man of integrity, authenticity, and he stands not only for what he believes, but he's not a politician. He's not doing the thing the politicians are doing. But if you're not watching him, you're not going to know that. If you're not part of this, you're not going to see it. You're just hearing a name, and it's not going to mean anything to you. I just watched the other day, Joel Altman came out and said he's going to run for governor. It's like, why? Why are you running? You already know who the front runner is. You already know who this guy is. You know what he's about. Clearly, he's going to have done his research. Why are we adding another name into the hat? And you're going to it's just going to divide more and more and more of the party. So, to me, I think we need to unify. I genuinely believe it's just like our men's group. We're coming together. We're supporting each other. We're allies. We're holding each other to account, and we're all on the same mission. And I want to take that mindset and I want to put it out to the voters of Colorado so that they can see and understand exactly what we're facing. I don't know another way to do it.
Well, we got to figure it out. We got to do our part, because we're not just going to tell people to do their part, not do our part. So we got to figure out what we can do.
Dude, we're going to rock our part.
We will. And I want to end my piece of this episode on this, man. As I already said before, the last time I finished talking on my piece, I'm excited. I think that 2026 is a crucial year, but I also think that 2026, we already have in the makings everything that we need for it to be a standout year, best year that we've ever had. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited to enter into 2026 with this momentum that we already have going, this wind that is already in our sails, and knowing that at the end of it all, nothing in this life matters if it's not pointing toward Jesus Christ. If it's not of eternal significance, what's the point? So at the end of the day, am I telling people that they should vote for Victor Marx? Yes. But you know why I think that they should vote for Victor Marx more than anything else is because of his faith.
Oh, yeah.
Is because he stands on his faith.
Amen.
And what he does, he operates from that conviction. And I think that that's the most important piece. But that is why I want to see him win in Colorado. I'd like to see Colorado get on a path that is leading more people to Jesus and bringing life into this world, making decisions that lead to life and not death. Because the decisions that are being made in politics right now are leading to death. They're not leading to life. I believe that Victor has a chance to win and lead the state to life. But regardless whether he wins or not, I still know that I have my calling, my conviction to walk out to carry, and that is no matter what happens in the state, no matter if the state continues down this dark path, I know that God's called the Rock Jiu-Jitsu team, Oodle Ollie Coffee, Victory Church, Mighty Men of Monday. He's called us to be a light, even if that means that we have to be a light in the darkest place. And that's what we're going to do. Unless God calls me elsewhere, I know that this is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to do everything that I'm doing with all my might, and I'm going to do it unto him, and I'm going to do my best to lead people to him.
Yeah.
Because that's all that matters. And so I'm excited. I'm excited about 2026 because what's already happened in 2025 and the momentum that we have leading into 2026, I know that God's got it. I know that he's got a plan, and we are submitted and surrendered to that plan, and we're marching on. Here we are, Lord. Send us. Amen.
Well, you said exactly my heart and how I feel. I was simply trying to paint a picture for the people that are out there that are struggling. I want to say I get it. Like, I understand why. But to your point, has been my point all along. There is hope in this thing, man. I said this is, I think we're in the greatest discipleship opportunity of our lifetime. I think that you're the only version of the Bible some people ever read. I think we have more opportunity to get in front of people and have an awakening and an understanding that this evil that we've been dealing with, and that's all it is. It's just bona fide evil, turned into law, turned into accountability, turned into a lot of different things that the legislators are using against you. But at the end of the day, the true believer, the true follower knows that. And at the end of the day, their salvation, in my opinion, is secure. I'm trying to reach the people that are lost, that are wayward, that are in the middle, that are disgusted, that are frustrated. I get it. I get that. I have that same feeling inside, but you got to go toward Jared just said, and that's hope, and that is the positive. And I love that because that's exactly where I'm living. I'm like, man, I'm so giddy for the next 4 months. That's why I said I'm looking forward to the finish line. I don't even care about the start. Like, the next 4 months for me are going to be a tantamount change of certain things inside. Not everything has to change, but certain things that I know in my own conscience, in my own heart, my mind, my history, my legacy, my perspective, all of that. I've got an opportunity to move forward in a different way. I don't have to look backwards at it. I don't need to look over my shoulder. I'll look over it for reference points, but no, I'm moving the ball down the field. So I'm with you. We're in the same canoe rowing the same direction, but I do not want to leave people out there that are on floaties trying to figure out how to get over to either the shore or get rescued by the boat, just sitting out there just floundering. And that's what worries me right now, because there's a lot of people in the party, out of the party, undecided, uncommitted, people that are not walking in faith, but are questioning, I keep hearing about this thing. I wonder what this is all about. Those are the people that I want to reach out to. Not because I don't want to reach out to people of like mind. Those are the people that we discipline off of each other, right? Those are the people that we walk hand in hand with. That's awesome. But the ones that are lost, you leave the 99 to get to the one. And I genuinely believe the Tom DeBlasses of the world, Victor Marx of the world, the Chuck Swindoll's of the world, the Ronald Reagans, I think they know this. I think you and I know this. What I heard Victor say the other day is, I am calling men with spine, with backbone, to stand up. I mean, he used specific words. Some people could look at that and go, well, that's insulting. Well, not if you understand the meaning behind what he's saying. And at the end of the day, I think we do need that. And so I'm with you. I'm super giddy. I'm super excited. We're going to have our last... Well, I guess this is technically the last episode of the year.
This is technically the last episode of the year.
because we're turning the page. Thursday will be the first.
Thursday will be the first.
So that episode will be fun because we can kind of recap 55 episodes now, what's happened over the course of the year, kind of break it up into sections or however we're going to do it. And then we'll already be on day one of our challenge of everything we're getting ready to do. So I'm excited. Like I'm genuinely, I'm a little giddy inside. I'll have to admit, got a little giddiness going on. But I'm trying to stay rated R for reality and at the same time be motivating for other people to get them disciplined. Not just stay motivated, but to get them disciplined to see the finish line. Because right now, from a political standpoint, we got one big hurdle coming up, and you got to win the primary, and the second big hurdle is you got to win the race. From a family-oriented standpoint, I've talked to a lot of guys lately that are hurting, man. A lot of guys. They're really hurting and disconnected and a lot of things going on. So I think our group, things that are happening there are going to be great. One thing that we've not talked about that I can't go too far with is this thing that we've been working on behind the scenes is getting ready to launch. That is something we'll be able to talk about come the turn of 26. And that is something that I'm equally as excited about because I believe that's going to provide a platform that everybody can watch and see that's going to be very different than what we're just doing internally here in the gym. So I'm super excited for all of this stuff. I really am.
You and me both, man. Very excited. And we didn't, in the beginning of the episode, mention, but I want to mention now, everyone listening, hope you had a very Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And we will not have another episode until next year.
Yeah.
At least not a new episode. So
a whole 48
Happy New
hours.
Year. Happy New Year to each of you out there. And I think that I've said everything that I wanted to say. So I'm done unless you have anything else.
No, I'm good. I tangented up a little bit today, and I apologize, but I really am. I'm excited, but I really want people to know that you matter, and I hear what's happening out there, and that the fight is on, is real.
That it is. And we know how to fight it, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
With that, go ahead.
Lord, thank you so much for your goodness. Thank you for a new day today. Thank you for the opportunity to sit down to have a conversation. In it all, God, I just pray that people would be led to you, Lord. I pray that you would use me, that you would use Micah, that you'd use this podcast, use this gym, use everything that we're doing, everything we're a part of. Use it all to glorify you, to bring people to know you, to bring people to walk in newness of life with you. We want to point people to the cross. We want to lead people to you, Jesus. I pray, God, that you'd help us to continue throughout the remainder of this week, Lord, and throughout the remainder of the closeout of 2025 as we enter into 2026. I pray that you'd be with us and help us to continue to deny ourselves and to carry our cross daily. And I pray that you'd help us to do it well, God. I pray for everyone out there listening. I pray for the families out there. I pray for men and women. I pray that you'd let your work be done in our lives. I pray that you'd encourage us, that you'd strengthen us, that you'd give us exactly what we need going into this new year. And I pray that you'd be with us throughout this new year. Open the right doors for us. I pray that you'd close the wrong doors for us. I pray that you'd lead us, and I pray that you'd help us to surrender to you more than we ever have in 2026. I pray that you'd help us to live our lives for you, point people to you, and I pray that you let your kingdom be built here on earth, Lord, and let your will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. We give everything to you, and we trust in you. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 All right.
Until next time. Happy New Year.
I carry a gun 'cause this world's gone cold. A knife for the path when the stories unfold. But the one that leads me, come fire or trial, is the word in my hand with a leather-bound smile. It's the life that I live, not just something I say. That's a daily carry.